Good morning, Deputy Honourable Speaker, Excellencies, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues and guests. Thank you for being here today and welcome. I am truly honoured to be here to launch the She Can exhibition at Parliament, where it will now be open to citizens. I start today's event with a quote by Malala Yousafzai, the 2014 Nobel Peace Prize laureate, who said the following: "I raise up my voice, not so I can shout, but so that those without a voice can be heard. We cannot succeed when half of us are held back. We want to enable, encourage, and empower students and society in science and technology. We have just celebrated the International Day of Girls and Women in Science on the 11th of February. This year, Malta was given the title of the World Capital for Women and Girls in Science and Technology by the Royal Academy of Science International Trust, RASIT, to promote equity, diversity, and inclusion in science. Together with the University of Malta, the Ministry for Foreign Affairs and Trade, and the Ministry for Education, Sport, Youth, Research and Innovation, we have developed a series of initiatives targeting different audiences to attract the interest of citizens with science and technology, such as the Girls for STEM Summer Camp, the AI Summer Camp on Exploring Intelligence, a boot camp on us and tech, short videos on breaking gender stereotypes in science and technology. These were shown during the Science in the City, the National Science and Arts Festival, where we engaged our audience with guessing unconventional career paths through video, demonstrations, and interactive games. And the She Can exhibition, which is why we are here today. I am immensely proud to have worked with these inspiring women, all these entities, the Marketing Communications and the Alumni Office team, for the impeccable design and work, and above all, Dr. Lourdes Farrugia, to showcase the stories of these 26 successful women who are the protagonists here today. I look forward to future collaborations to make science and technology more accessible to society. We will now proceed with a short video of the She Can exhibition, followed by a speech by Dr. Lourdes Farrugia, the head of the Department of Physics at the University of Malta, to tell you a little bit more about the She Can exhibition. Thank you.
Imagine a doctor, an engineer, or a mathematician. Who do you think of?
What do they look like?
Chances are they are a he.
The reality is that we have a larger proportion of women in health, but less so in artificial intelligence and engineering.
Innovation, pushing the envelope, challenging the status quo, changing the world requires a diverse workforce. Women across the world are challenging gender barriers, creating a more equitable society.
There are some shining examples of women who have time and time again blazed trails in science and technology.
Let us take a moment to appreciate the exceptional work of these women.
I am responsible for public health in order to keep the Maltese population safe. So I work on a lot of aspects in public health. One of them was leading a team during the COVID pandemic to keep Malta safe.
For me, it's always been important to give value to those aspects of quality of life beyond material well-being, and that's why I embarked on the Wellbeing Index project.
My research involves developing microwave antennas for breast cancer diagnostic and therapeutic purposes.
In my work as a biomedical scientist in the field of genetics, I'm involved in testing for hereditary rare diseases and also the genetic testing of cancers.
Their outstanding efforts are truly inspiring and deserve our utmost recognition and gratitude.
The She Can exhibition showcases the stories of 26 successful career women working in digital technologies, sustainability, health and well-being, smart solutions, and marine and maritime.
Let us celebrate them, their achievements, and the power to inspire future generations with the skills and confidence to succeed in science and technology. This starts with us sharing their stories. The She Can exhibition is touring secondary schools around the island and will be accessible in open spaces for citizens.
Honorable Deputy Speakers, Excellencies, and distinguished guests. It is an honor to meet all of you, and I am pleased that our shared vision, that to empower women and girls, brought us here today. Being together will foster a greater understanding for more diversity, leading to a more just, inclusive, and sustainable future. And what better way to achieve this? Through creativity and the arts, the She Can exhibition presents 26 shining examples of successful career women, women that are change agents in today's society, women who, although all have their different stories, share a common passion that led them to a career in STEM. In this exhibition, you will have the opportunity to meet women that recount how they merged their passion for music with science, becoming engineers, how their troubles at a young age motivated them to become doctors, how their love for the sea made them travel and truly challenge gender barriers. You will meet policymakers, directors, and CEOs, all making a real impact in today's society, both locally and internationally. Diversity in STEM is a multifaceted problem that requires education of people from all walks of life. To achieve this, the She Can exhibition has been roving different schools, and today also in Parliament. And later on during this year, it will also be set up in our communities. We started with our young ones, particularly our girls. We want them to see a path forward in their career, presenting them role models so that they can believe. The idea behind She Can. Women and girls can, and after all, we all can. Our boys, the next generation of men. We want them to learn how to question the status quo and be more sensitive to the need for more diversity, equity, and inclusion in our society. Today, we're also here in Parliament to encourage the highest authorities of this country to implement genuine change. To our distinguished guests, we would like you to disseminate our objectives to your respective communities so that together we can be the change. Let's all coordinate our efforts to be an effective change catalyst. After all, through diversity, all societies stand to benefit. And that's not only for women. I firmly believe that a more diverse workforce will lead to innovation in addressing global challenges, bridge the gaps in STEM, and above all, it is the only way to reach full potential of our society. To conclude, I would like to thank all the participants for their dedication and time. I hope that this is also serving you as an opportunity to network with fellow colleagues and help you progress further in your career. Thanks goes to our rectorate at the University of Malta for making the resources available. And last but not least, our collaborators at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade and the Ministry of Education, Sport, Youth, Research and Innovation. Now I invite Professor Jean Kallea-Jus and Dr. Deandra Kutayar, who are both participants in this exhibition, to share their journey, leading them to a career in STEM. Then followed by Professor Inge Simon Fabry, the Pro-Rector of Research and Knowledge Transfer, to address the audience.
Thank you, Dr. Lourdes Farrugia, and good morning, and thank you to the Honorable Speaker, to the Excellencies, Your Excellencies, and distinguished guests. It's truly an honor for me to be here today. Now, Aim high, aim for the stars. I'm sure that, like me, you yourselves have been told these words over and over again by your parents, by your teachers, by people who really care for you. I myself have followed this mantra, and in spite of not having anyone in my family who was a doctor, I entered medical school. Actually, Lord did mention personal experiences which affect your choices, and I must admit that at O-level stage, when I was 16, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I loved everything that I did. And then, yes, my mom needed to undergo an operation. It was a gynae operation, and at the time, there were no female gynae doctors. And that actually was what inspired me then that, okay, I want to become a doctor, and I also want to become a gynecologist. Gynecologist is a doctor specialized in women's health. So not only did I graduate as an MD and further specialized as an obstetrician gynecologist, but then I even went on to head one of the departments within the Faculty of Medicine and Surgery. Throughout my career, I've chaired various research consortia, and this also led to things which are not usually associated, let's say, mainstream women. And in fact, one of the things we did, we developed innovative surgical tools, for example, together with the Faculty of Engineering and the Department of Surgery. And just to show you, technology. So one particular tool actually won the first Malta Intellectual Property Award way back in 2020, which was a collaboration between the Faculty of Medicine, it was led by me, and the Faculty of Engineering and the Department of Surgery. In fact, this tool is further being patented and is hopefully going to be used in thyroid surgery. I've also collaborated with universities and SMEs abroad, such as, for example, TU Delft and University College London, just to mention a few. I also had the opportunity to train medical staff in under-resourced countries and under-resourced communities, such, for example, hospitals in Tanzania. Worth mentioning is a Lifetime Achievement Award that I was awarded last year for ethics and professionalism in medical research in Italy. So I'm going to show you some photos. Sorry, this was meant to happen as I was talking. So I would like you to just notice something, though, in these photos. And that's the fact that although women have come far, in certain fields, including medicine, when you think about it, more than 50% of medical students are females. But when it comes to the top positions and in areas where it comes to research and where it comes to innovation, there's still an underrepresentation of women. So, I myself, I'm a mother too. That's another full-time job. And I want to be, I hope to be, a role model, irrespective of gender, because I believe that if I can, you can, and she can, and society can. So whatever happens in life, one of my female professors actually had taught me that if you meet stumbling blocks, just turn those stumbling blocks into stepping stones. And life will show the way. So thank you very much.
Good morning, Honorable Deputy Speaker, Excellencies, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues and guests. I'm Dr. Kutayar and I was raised in Asha. I attended public schools all my life, from primary to university. I graduated in Bachelor of Science and pursued a doctorate in astrophysics. Prior to finishing my PhD, I landed my first job in data science that kickstarted my career in data and AI. The career took me around the world, where the foundations that I've acquired here in Malta enabled me to explain complex AI techniques to a diverse audience, such as marine insurance, where I combined weather data with marine vessel data to understand the effect of climate and extreme weather. in constructions where non-compliance reports describe non-conformity and how can we avoid that, how an architecture design can be understood to define the complexity of a building and the correlation with sustainability. Today, I am a data science lead with an international company in the educational industry. My journey was not without hurdles. I was studying in sciences and I was often asked, but what are you going to do afterwards? Whilst I was doing the doctorate, I was often told, why am I studying? Because once I get married, I will stop working. There were some who also told me that a doctorate from the University of Malta doesn't level up internationally. But these experiences have motivated me to push those barriers and break them, to break those stereotypes, and now my work speaks for me. I see a lot of change in companies where we all understand that diversity makes us more innovative, but there's more to be done. I will conclude by sharing that I really look forward to collaborate to extend and pave the way for more women after me in sciences and technology, but also to educate and cultivate a culture where we all understand data and AI. That data is an asset, everyone has their own data, and it is my ambition that we raise a culture in society where we all understand our interactions with AI. Thank you.
Deputy Honorable Speaker, distinguished guests, excellencies, colleagues and participants. Good morning. As the previous speakers, I also am truly honored this morning to have been given the opportunity to address the inauguration of the She Can exhibition in my role as Pro-Rector for Research and Knowledge Transfer at the University of Malta. Apart from being the Pro-Rector for Research, I'm also a professional engineer, so needless to say, I'm a very strong promoter of the so-called STEM disciplines, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But today's occasion goes far beyond simply that. This occasion, the focus is, and the focus of this exhibition is all about championing and celebrating the potential of women and girls in STEM. And why is this important? It's because not only our traditional, but also our current cultural and societal landscapes do not always welcome and encourage the inclusion of women in STEM areas, nor even recognize or celebrate appropriately their contributions to the advancements in STEM that often lead to national, regional, and global developments, as we've just seen in the examples a few minutes ago. There are several reasons behind this unfortunate state of affairs. Fallacious gender stereotypes, limited access to educational and employment opportunities, traditional biases, unconscious biases, and maybe limited exposure to role models. Last year, Malta was selected to be the World Capital for Women and Girls in Science by the Royal Academy of Science International Trust. We therefore have an obligation to contribute to the promotion of equity, diversity, and inclusion in all fields of science and technology. And under this framework, today's exhibition, spearheaded by the University of Malta with the support of the Ministry for Foreign and European Affairs and the Ministry for Education, Sport, Youth, Research and Innovation, is one of a series of initiatives aimed at dispelling and challenging misjudged notions and prejudices against the inclusion of women and girls in STEM. In fact, as you all know, the exhibition portrays the careers of 26 Maltese women who, despite the previously mentioned challenges, have managed to establish themselves against all odds in various STEM professions, and they contribute significantly to their respective areas of discipline, and in several cases also have leadership positions in their communities and places of work. These women are an inspiration for all of us, but mostly for younger girls who aspire to educate themselves and look forward to becoming future professionals in STEM. Through their example, younger girls can be encouraged to hold out against stereotypes, to access appropriate educational pathways, and to not be afraid to participate in informal STEM clubs and activities that are normally dominated by the presence of boys. There are no reasons why girls cannot excel in STEM subjects and careers, with their brilliant spirit of creativity, innovation, resilience, and problem solving. Besides, in our quests to seek scientific answers and solutions to the very challenging world problems like climate change, cleaner energy, health, inclusivity is crucial, and we simply cannot afford to leave half of our population on the sidelines when it comes to achieving such difficult goals. The university is committed towards contributing to diversity in science and research, not only through this event and associated events, but also through other activities, like summer camps, open discussions, school visits, and workshops. A university-wide gender equity plan is also in place to create a fair and inclusive work environment and work conditions for our researchers. I hope that such initiatives are followed up and complemented by other players in the wider community: parents, educators, mentors, employers, leaders, entrepreneurs, because this way only, through a concerted effort, can barriers to the inclusivity of women and girls in the world of STEM be truly surpassed. And this is an important and noble challenge that we all need to face and address. Thank you so much.
Bonġu, l-ugwaljanza u l-parità fix-xjenza huma vitali biex jissaħħu il-paċi u l-iżvilupp. Dan hu punt ta' tluq importanti biex is-soċjetà dinjija tibqa' tiżviluppa u tavvanza. Pass importanti meta wieħed iżomm f'moħħu dak li riċentament stqar l-Istitut Ewropew tal-Ugwaljanza bejn is-sessi, li t-tnaqqis tad-differenza bejn is-sessi fl-edukazzjoni STEM jgħin it-tkabbir ekonomiku kemm permezz ta' produttività ogħla kif ukoll żieda fl-attività fis-suq tax-xogħol. Ejja nżommu f'moħħna li sal-2050 l-impjieg tal-Unjoni Ewropea jista' jogħla b'1,200,000 impjieg. Pass importanti meta wieħed jiftakar l-irwol ewlieni li kellhom xjenzati nisa fi sfidi li riċentament il-komunità globali kellha tiffaċċja primarjament fil-ġlieda kontra l-pandemija tal-COVID-19. Dr. Kizmekia Corbett, Professur Sara Gilbert, Katrin Jensen, dawn huma biss ftit mix-xjenzati nisa li kellhom rwol ċentrali fl-iżvilupp tal-vaċċini li jistgħu waqfu il-COVID-19, il-virus li ħa iktar minn 2.2 miljun ħajja madwar id-dinja. Fil-waqt li x-xjenzati nisa bħal dawn qed jikkontribwixxu għal skoperti li jsalvaw il-ħajja, għadna naraw disparità bejn is-sessi fid-dinja tax-xjenza. Il-figuri jitkellmu waħedhom. Bħalissa 30% biss ta' studenti li huma nisa jażlu li jistudjaw STEM skont il-UNESCO. Barra minn dan, in-nisa u l-bniet li jitlu fi STEM spiss jitħabtu kontra il-preġudizzju. Il-UNESCO Science Report ippubblikat riċentament jiżvela li bħalissa wieħed biss minn kull 3 mir-riċerkaturi huma nisa. Statistika riċenti turi wkoll li l-popolazzjoni ta' xjenzati u inġinieri impjegati fl-Ewropa tammonta biss għal 41.3%. Skont il-Global Gender Gap Report tal-2021, f'Malta 10.3 biss perċentwali tal-gradwati nisa jażlu li jsegwu karriera fl-STEM, meta mqabbel ma' 32.5% tal-gradwati irġiel. Meta n-nisa u l-bniet jiġu mċaħda minn dawn l-opportunitajiet, dan ifisser li se jkun hemm inqas esperti biex jgħinu isolvu il-problemi ewlenin li jeddu il-pjaneta tagħna u l-ispeċi tagħna. Aktar xjentisti ifissru aktar esperti biex jindirizzaw uħud mill-isfidi l-aktar urġenti tad-dinja, bħal bidla fil-klima u d-disparitajiet tas-saħħa globali, 2 biss mi-17 il-lanijiet ta' sostenibilità tan-Nazzjonijiet Uniti għada lan li tikseb sal-2030. U għalhekk l-importanza għal Malta li ġiet maħtura bħala l-ewwel kapitali dinjija għan-nisa u l-bniet fix-xjenza għas-sena inawgurali 2023-2024 mir-Royal Academy for Science International Trust. Malta dejjem ħadet ir-rwol attiv fil-qasam tan-nisa u l-bniet fix-xjenza. Ta' min wieħed jiftakar li fl-2015 flimkien mar-Resit, Malta kienet parti minn dawk li taw bidu għal proċess li wassal biex fil-11 ta' frar ġie meqjus bħala l-Jum Internazzjonali tan-nisa u l-bniet fix-xjenza tan-Nazzjonijiet Magħquda. Rwol attiv li Malta ħadet bħala l-ewwel kapitali dinjija għan-nisa u l-bniet fix-xjenza tal-2023. Sena li fija kalendarju sħiħ ta' attivitajiet li kontribuxxew biex ikun hemm aktar għarfien fuq ir-realtajiet tad-disparità bejn is-sessi fis-settur tant importanti. Però mhux biss, attivitajiet u inizjattivi li servew ta' xprun biex verament issir bidla f'disparità surreali u ironika. Surreali u ironika li fis-sena 2024 għadna qed niddiskutu problemi ta' disparità f'soċjetà globali tant avvanzata u f'settur tant dinamiku bħal dak tax-xjenza. Ir-rwol ċentrali li Malta għandha biex tiġi eradikata id-disparità f'settur tant delikat ma jiqafx ma' tmiem tal-mandat tagħha bħala l-ewwel kapitali dinjija għan-nisa u l-bniet fix-xjenza. Anzi dan huwa l-bidu ta' perkors fejn Malta għandha l-għodda kollha biex tagħmel id-differenza, biex verament il-bidla ma tkunx limitata għaċ-ċelebrazzjoni ta' ġurnata fis-sena, kemm wieħed jara x-xogħol siewi li sar tul is-sena. Minn hawn insellem u nirringrazzja lil kull min kien involut għax tassew permezz tagħhom pajjiżna għamel id-differenza. Wis aktar pajjiżna jista' jkompli jagħmel differenza fis-snin li ġejjin. Grazzi.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, Excellencies, distinguished guests, good morning. Bħala l-ewwel kapitali dinija għan-nisa u l-bniet fix-xjenza li ma ħatra mogħtija mir-Resit, Malta ħadet impenn li tħeġġeġ l-ekwità, id-diversità u l-inklużjoni fl-oqsma kollha tax-xjenza u tpoġġi dawn it-temi fil-qalba tal-attenzjoni tad-dinja. Aħna nemmnu li l-edukazzjoni hija l-pedament tal-progress tas-soċjetà. Li l-edukazzjoni tagħti l-għodda lill-individwi biex jibnu u jsaħħu l-ħsibiet tagħhom u tħejjihom biex ikunu kapaċi jaffaċċjaw l-isfidi u jieħdu l-opportunitajiet illum u fil-futur. Għaldaqstant bħala Ministeru, flimkien mal-Università ta' Malta, il-Ministeru għall-Affarijiet Barranin u Ewropej u l-Kummerċ u r-Resit, ħadna impenn biex permezz ta' esperjenzi edukattivi varji li noffru nibdew nindirizzaw sfidi li għadna qed naraw kemm lokalment u kif ukoll internazzjonalment, marbutin mal-parteċipazzjoni attiva tan-nisa u l-bniet fix-xjenza matul ħajjithom kollha. Pereżempju, id-dejta internazzjonali turina li n-nisa għadhom sottorappreżentati b'mod sinifikanti fil-karrieri relatati ma' xjenza, teknoloġija, matematika u inġinerija. In-nisa jammontaw għal kważi nofs l-impjiegi totali fix-xogħlijiet mhux STEM, iżda mbagħad madwar 29.2% biss tal-ħaddiema STEM. Rapporti internazzjonali wkoll jitfgħu dawl ukoll fuq fenomenu ieħor. Minkejja n-numru ta' nisa li jażlu karrieri STEM qiegħed jikber, u wara sena li jiggradwaw dan l-istess numru jonqos b'mod sinifikanti. Dawn huma biss tnejn minn diversi sfidi oħra li jelenkaw anke il-kelliema ta' qabli. Biss tajjeb nirrikonoxxu li matul is-snin saru passi kbar il qudiem f'dan ir-rigward. Imma bla dubju baqa' ħafna x'nagħmlu u aħna nemmnu li flimkien biss nistgħu nagħmlu d-differenza. Bl-impenn ta' kulħadd biss nistgħu nagħmlu d-differenza. It-tfal jirrispondu għad-dinja li jaraw. Għalhekk jeħtieġu aktar role models, persuni illi jispirawhom biex jikkonnettjaw, biex jirrelataw magħhom. Ħadd ma jista' jaspira li jkun bħal xi ħadd li ma jafx li jeżisti. Irridu naraw u niċċelebraw ix-xjentisti kollha fosthom dawk li huma nisa. Fuq pjattaformi tal-medja soċjali, fuq it-televiżjoni, fl-iskejjel, ir-riċerka turina li ir-role models u l-mentors huma partikolarment effettivi biex jiġu indirizzati preġudizzji relatati mal-ġeneru. Dawn huma effettivi għax joffru xenari awtentiċi marbutin mal-istudji u l-karriri STEM u juruhom li huma wkoll jistgħu jsiru min joħolbu li jkunu, kif qed tagħmel propju din l-esibizzjoni tal-lum. Komponent ewlieni ieħor biex inkomplu fil-proċess tal-bidla huwa billi nipprovdu iktar esperjenzi ta' tagħlim prattiċi u applikati fl-iskola u barra mill-iskola. Dawn l-esperjenzi prattiċi jipprovdu opportunitajiet importanti għall-istudenti kollha biex jitalmu waqt li jieħdu pjaċir, biex jinvestu f'ħiliet neċessarji fid-dinja tal-lum u biex irawmu attitudnijiet pożittivi lejn l-STEM. Dawn l-opportunitajiet ta' tagħlim prattiku jistgħu jservu wkoll bħala opportunitajiet biex l-istudenti tagħna jaraw li l-isfidi wara kollox huma parti importanti u meħtieġa mit-tagħlim. B'hekk l-istudenti tagħna mbagħad isiru wkoll iktar reżiljenti. Ir-riċerka turina wkoll li l-bniet għandhom it-tendenza illi jażlu karrieri li jservu l-ġid komuni. Għalhekk jeħtieġ li nurruhom kif ix-xjenza tħalli impatt fuq il-ġid komuni, pereżempju billi tgħinna nindirizzaw sfidi tal-ħajja reali bħal dawk relatati mas-saħħa, it-tibdil fil-klima. Fl-aħħar iżda mhux l-inqas u x'inhu l-irwol tagħna, aħna minn aħna ejjew noffru opportunitajiet varji u għodda neċessarji lil kull student u studenta fis-sistema edukattiva tagħna biex ngħinuhom isegwu l-ħolm tagħhom u l-aspirazzjonijiet tagħhom. Flimkien nistgħu nkissru l-preġudizzji u l-aspettattivi tas-soċjetà. Il-koll nafu li l-proċess ta' soċjalizzazzjoni jibda l-minuta li nitwildu. Minn ħin nitwildu nibdew insawru minn aħna u minn sensiru. Dan ifisser allura li kif edna diġà kulħadd għandu irwol importanti. Matul din is-sena biex inkunu preċiżi fis-sajf li għadda, permezz tal-Girls for STEM Summer Camp, offrejna l-opportunità li studenti tfajliet fl-iskola medja biex jagħmlu jesperjenzjaw dawn l-opportunitajiet kollha li għadni kif semmejt u kif ukoll biex jinvestu fil-kreattività u l-innovazzjoni. Il-Girls for STEM Summer Camp kien biss waħda minn diversi opportunitajiet li l-Ministeru offra lill-istudenti ta' etajiet varji, inklużi lill-istudenti ċkejknin ta' snin bikrin, kif ukoll opportunitajiet fejn stedinna ġenituri u stakeholders oħra. Fil-fatt, illum qegħdin niċċelebraw sena ta' ħidma f'dan ir-rigward. Għamilna ħafna u baqalna ħafna x'nagħmlu. Nixtieq hawnhekk biex nagħlaq nirringrazzja lill kollegi fil-Ministeru għall-Edukazzjoni, l-Isport, Żgħażagħ, Riċerka u l-Innovazzjoni, fosthom l-Uffiċjali Edukattivi tax-Xjenza li flimkien ma' edukaturi oħra u b'kollaborazzjoni kontinwa mal-kollegi mill-Università ta' Malta u mill-Ministeru għall-Affarijiet Barranin u Ewropej u l-Kummerċ u mar-Rażit ħdimna mill-qalb u b'impenn biex għamilna din is-sena ta' suċċess. L-għana ewlieni esperjenzi edukattivi ta' kwalità għall-istudenti kollha tagħna. Grazzi.
Lodwa tajba, deputat speaker, kollegi. Bħala kellim tal-oppożizzjoni għall-edukazzjoni, ma nistax ninsa l-ikbar komponent illi lili jagħmilni bħala bniedem komplet. Illi jiena missier ta' tifla ta' 12 sena. Ta' tifla li toħlom, ta' tifla li timmaġina dwar dak kollu li tixtieq issir u li ħafna drabi anka jien bħala missiera xi kultant niddubita u nistaqsi. Jiena ġej mill-professjoni tal-edukazzjoni, jiena għalliem u fil-korsa tiegħi bħala edukatur, bħala għalliem, matul iż-żmien ukoll kont maqbut fiċ-ċirkostanzi tal-mentalità xi kultant dejqa u magħluqa illi għandna f'dan il-pajjiż illi nippromuovu xogħlijiet, professjonijiet, karrieri illi ma jkunux qegħdin jiftħu biżżejjed l-orizzonti taż-żgħażagħ qudiemna b'mod speċjali, it-tfajliet speċjalment fejn jidħlu l-oqsma ta' STEM. Xi kultant irridu niċċelebraw is-suċċess bħalma qegħdin niċċelebraw is-suċċess hawnhekk. huwa unur għalina bħala pajjiż li qegħdin niċċelebraw dan is-suċċess. Huwa unur li qegħdin niltaqgħu ma' dawn in-nisa li taw kontribut validu u se jkomplu jagħtu kontribut validu. Però rridu mmorru pass lura. Pass illi jrid bil-mod il-mod jibda jistabbilixxi mentalità differenti ta' kif se nħarsu lejn il-karrieri, il-professjonijiet relatati mal-STEM. U allura rridu nibdew nemmenu illi l-aċċessibilità għall-informazzjoni relatata mal-professjoni fis-suġġetti relatati mal-STEM tkun miftuħa kemm jista' jkun. U dan nistgħu nagħmluh biss fil-klassijiet. Fil-klassijiet fejn għandna tfal ta' età bikrija li mhux biss inħalluhom joħolmu, li mhux biss ngħinuhom ikunu kreattivi, imma nuruhom it-triq illi jistgħu jaqbdu. U allura bla dubju rridu bħala pajjiż ninvestu f'dak kollu illi jistgħu jiltaqgħu miegħu it-tfal tagħna mod speċjali il-bniet minn perspettivi ta' digitalizzazzjoni, ta' kodba, ta' nies illi jistgħu jaqsmu l-esperjenzi tagħhom biex eventwalment nelbu id-disparità illi teżisti u li nistgħu biss nirbħuha jekk inkunu qegħdin nagħtu aċċess ugwali lil kulħadd. Nikkonkludi billi nsemmi kelma importanti ħafna, il-kelma ekwità. Illi xi kultant din il-kelma inkunu qegħdin nonqsuha għaliex ma nifhmuhiex biżżejjed. L-ekwità ġeneralment norbtuha biss mal-perspettivi inklusivi, però il-kelma ekwità tista' tkun it-tarġa illi tgħin lill-bniet ta' età bikrija sabiex jilħqu il-milja tagħhom. U nieħu pjaċir nara nisa ta' suċċess, nisa illi rnexxielhom jimxu l quddiem minkejja l-ostakli kollha li nafu illi jeżistu biex eventwalment waslu fejn kienu dejjem joħolmu. Ejja nkomplu noħolmu imma wkoll ejja nwettqu viżjoni illi tkun qiegħda tgħin lit-tfal tagħna minn età bikrija sabiex jimxu pass pass u jaslu fejn għandhom jaslu jew fejn joħolmu illi jaslu. Grazzi.
Honourable Deputy Speaker, fellow parliamentarians, excellencies and distinguished guests. I am honoured to address you here on behalf of the Honourable Minister for Foreign and European Affairs and Trade, Dr. Ian Borch, at the launch of this exhibition. It is always a pleasure to attend such events. One, because we are celebrating the inspirational women that have broken barriers, but also because we are celebrating the challenges that we have faced as women in different sectors. And today it's truly inspiring to see the journey that these 26 women have had. Let's have more of these women in the future. And as I've said before, not only have these women made a name for themselves, but also for their country in their respective areas. They are an inspiration not to those who are already in the field, but also to the young generations who are still trying to find their own life path. Nationally, many efforts are being made by various stakeholders, some of whom are here today, to ensure a greater representation of women and girls in science. I want to take this opportunity to thank them all for their commitment. Malta has, however, also focused its efforts in promoting this goal internationally. As has been mentioned before, back in 2015, Malta, along with the Royal Academy for Science International Trust, put forward our United Nations resolution that led to the establishment of the International Day of Women and Girls in Science on the 11th of February. And this resolution is significant because it aims to achieve gender parity in educational opportunities as well as in science participation. And since then, Malta, together with RACIT and other UN member states, have commemorated this International Day on a yearly basis at the United Nations headquarters in New York. And additionally, last year, as has been mentioned, Malta was designated as the first world capital for women and girls in science, which is no easy feat. A global initiative to promote equity, diversity, and inclusion in all fields of science through a year-long celebration. Malta has also been avidly working on the promotion and implementation of the Women, Peace and Security Agenda, both through its first National Action Plan, launched in 2020, and through its UN Security Council membership. And this agenda seeks to ensure the full, equal and meaningful participation of women in peace and security processes. And it is clear that Malta is doing its utmost to ensure not only a greater representation of women across the board, but also to achieve gender equality and mainstreaming so that everyone, regardless of their gender, benefits from the same rights and opportunities. And in this regard, I cannot fail to mention the work that is ongoing to implement Malta's first gender equality and mainstreaming strategy and action plan, which also includes a particular focus on promoting women and girls in the field of STEM. And to conclude, I would like to thank the University of Malta for creating this very inspiring exhibition, not only here in Parliament, but also amongst our communities, as well as the 26 scientists, some of whom are here present with us today, for participating in this exhibition, sharing their story, and also being role models for girls in the future. I am certain that this exhibition will serve as another impetus in our work to ensure that women and girls are more represented in the field of STEM. She can, we can, and we definitely will prove it. Thank you.
Grazie. Kollegi, Excellencies, Sinjuri, ili fil-politika, imma dan u wieħed mill-isbaħ momenti li tara l-Parlament Malti mimli b'tant nies distinti li jagħmlu suċċess f'pajjiżna. Grazzi u grazzi minn qalbi fisem l-Speaker Dr. Angelo Farrugia li jinsab imsiefer. Wara kemmu sabiħ li taraf u tapprezza dak li hu tajjeb, dak li hu taġid, dak li hu pożittiv. Din tal-lum fil-Parlament ta' Malta okkażjoni fejn qed nagħtu ġieħ lil tant individwi. Individwi orrif, kapaċi, tant li b'ħidmiethom waslu biex kisbu professjoni fix-xjenzi u oqsma oħra tal-ħajja, blan ewlieni li huma jagħtu kontribut tagħhom favur ħuthom il-bnedmin. Kulħadd għandu bżonn xulxin. Iżda fid-dawl ta' ħtiġijiet ta' ħutna l-bnedmin jeħtieġ li kull min jista' u għandu l-potenzjal li jagħti s-servizz tiegħu lil ħaddieħor, l-interess ta' ħaddieħor għandu jisboq kull konsiderazzjoni oħra, anke ta' natura ekonomika. Biex ħija u oħti, biex aħna l-koll, biex il-proxmu fil-bżonn jingħatalhom dak li jeħtieġu biex huma jgħixu u aħna ngħixu flimkien f'pajjiż f'ambjent nadif u sabiħ u ħajja tassew dinjituża. Dear distinguished guests and friends, we have gathered at Parliament today to mark the International Day for Women and Girls in Science. This occasion is intended to educate and make the general public aware about this common interest, women and girls in science. It is also intended to mobilize political will and identify resources to address problems faced by humanity. The family that brings together all human beings on earth, our common home. Our objective is enshrined in the 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights. We believe in the fundamental rights and the dignity and worth of the human person, and the equal rights of man and woman, and our determination to promote social progress and better standards of life in larger freedom. The international community of nations have pledged to achieve the promotion of universal respect for and observance of human rights and fundamental freedoms. The common understanding among states of these fundamental rights and freedoms is of great importance for the full realization of this pledge. Education, amongst other things, is the art and/or science of transmitting knowledge from a mature adult to children and young people. However, education also includes lifelong learning programs and the constant updating of our knowledge. The moment that we stop or renounce updates of knowledge, that would lead to stagnation. Statistics show that women represent half of the world's population and therefore also half of its potential. Gender equality, besides being a fundamental human right, is essential to render peace-loving nations contribute towards our Commonwealth and endeavor to secure the objectives of sustainable development. The United Nations reports that women represent a third of all researchers in the worldwide. Women constitute a mere 12% of membership of national science academies. In artificial intelligence, only 1 in 5 professionals is a woman. Furthermore, women still account for only 28% of engineering graduates and 40% of graduates in computer science and informatics worldwide. On the other hand, the UN reports that women scientists are on the forefront of climate change and climate action. It is thanks to the women who champion the science behind climate change that the people and their governments have realized the importance of issues that need to be addressed, such as the adverse effects of global warming and global carbon emissions on human health. Desertification and the scarcity of potable water resources constitute a threat to human existence, and seawater rise needs immediate action to protect and preserve small island states. Action towards securing the Sustainable Development Goals entail a pool of talented creative professionals and researchers all contributing towards human development, that is, ensuring eradication of poverty and hunger, access to clean water and sanitation to all people, good health and access to free medical care in order to ensure the well-being of all, high-quality education, affordable and clean energy, clean surroundings. May I strongly emphasize that the fact that the community of science worldwide have a particular duty and role to ensure the well-being of humanity. Let me say this in Maltese too. Intom ix-xjenzati għandkom fidejkom iċ-ċavetta b'saħħitha biex tagħmlu l-ħajja tan-nies aħjar. Dak li huwa oġġettiv li jirriżulta minn studju meqjuma huma ntiżi biex itejbu l-qagħda tal-bniedem. Ix-xjenza applikati mezz biex aħna bħala bnedmin ngħixu aħjar. L-istudjuż illum qed jarbel dak kollu li hu magħruf illum biex jifhem aħjar u aktar il-qudiem kull tagħlim ġdid iwasslu biex jipproponu soluzzjoni ħalli nsibu tarf tal-problemi tal-iżvilupp uman. We human beings are creative, dynamic and talented. I am confident that with the provision of adequate financial support towards our education and scientific research programs, we would be able to further progress and further excel in scientific knowledge that would lead to ensure sustainable human development. This exhibition entitled She Can, You Can calls on society to acknowledge talented individuals for their academic achievements. At the same time, we should encourage our young students to persevere in their studies and seek becoming a most humble scholar that acknowledges the need to pursue and further contribute towards the constant improvement of human life. Nixtieq intemm dan id-diskors tiegħi billi nħeġġeġ l-akkademiċi u dak kollha li kisbu suċċess fil-professjoni tagħhom biex ikomplu jinkoraġġixxu l-istudenti tagħna fl-istudji tagħhom. Dan qed tagħmluh biex fil-ġejjieni mhux tant il-bogħod huma wkoll ikunu tajnuna l-irproxmu tagħhom, żgħar u kbar, fqar jew għonja li jeħtieġu s-servizz tagħhom u fl-istess waqt itejbu l-għajxien tal-bnedmin kollha. Nirringrazzjakom u permettuli niddikjara fisem Mr. Speaker Dr. Angelo Farrugia din il-wirja bħala miftuħa. Grazzi ħafna.
Imagine a doctor, an engineer, or a mathematician. Who do you think of?
What do they look like? Chances are they are a he.
The reality is that we have a larger proportion of women in health, but less so in artificial intelligence and engineering.
Innovation, pushing the envelope, challenging the status quo, changing the world requires a diverse workforce. Women across the world are challenging gender barriers, creating a more equitable society.
There are some shining examples of women who have time and time again blazed trails in science and technology.
Let us take a moment to appreciate the exceptional work of these women.
I am responsible for public health in order to keep the Maltese population safe. So I work on a lot of aspects in public health. One of them was leading a team during the COVID pandemic to keep Malta safe.
For me, it's always been important to give value to those aspects of quality of life beyond material well-being, and that's why I embarked on the Wellbeing Index project.
My research involves developing microwave antennas for breast cancer diagnostic and therapeutic purposes.
In my work as a biomedical scientist in the field of genetics, I'm involved in testing for hereditary rare diseases and also the genetic testing of cancers.
Their outstanding efforts are truly inspiring and deserve our utmost recognition and gratitude.
The She Can exhibition showcases the stories of 26 successful career women working in digital technologies, sustainability, health and well-being, smart solutions, and marine and maritime.
Let us celebrate them, their achievements, and the power to inspire future generations with the skills and confidence to succeed in science and technology. This starts with us sharing their stories. The She Can exhibition is touring secondary schools around the island and will be accessible in open spaces for citizens.